Now, I'm not going to waste any of your guys' time. All I ask is for you guys to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We've got a 6'4" Anthony Edwards build, and this is going to be like a bully guard build. Now, what I've realized is a lot of people are making these 6'8" or just builds in general, guards especially, with no strength. So what we're doing, 6'4", 221 with a 6'9" wingspan. Now, hear me out. I've got a couple cap breakers. So our finishing stats might look a little lackluster to you, but what I have noticed, and I watched a lot of videos before the game came out, was the driving dunks on these smaller builds could be kind of spotty. So what I did is wanted to make sure that I had a high driving layup. What I've realized, and you guys will see with these clips, and I've got a couple gameplays to show you guys as well, the driving layups are really overpowered. Like, you can do some crazy just kind of run of the rim contested layups. I like the scoop layups. I like the floaters. The hop step layups are pretty solid as well. I think they changed the animation with the Euro steps. If you guys have been watching the channel, I love Euro steps, but I feel like they're very difficult to do this year. I try to do with the right stick. I might not just be doing the input right, but I cannot get Euro steps down at all. But I went with the high driving layup, and with our driving dunk, I ended up using 2 of the cap breakers that I had to driving dunk. So you guys will see in the gameplays, and I'll show you guys here in a second with the build. I have a 93 standing dunk, or a 93 driving dunk, my bad. But 93 driving dunk, we got gold posterizer. We've got 80 post control, so we can spin by some of these guys as well. But I also will be showing you guys all the max plus ones, the max plus twos, because with a build like this, and one of the max badges you can use, like the max plus ones and max plus twos, the build becomes pretty ridiculous. And then here comes the shooting. With Anthony Edwards, I wanted to make sure that I had a super high 3-ball. And again, like I said, I will show you guys if you want to kind of mess around with this and the specializations and all that stuff that I use, I will show you guys here at the tail end. But I wanted an 89 3-point shot. That gives you that silver limitless range. And if, like I said, you want to, max plus 2, you got Hall of Fame, which I did kind of mess around with here in the gameplays and the clips. I kind of messed around with like legend posterizer, like Hall of Fame limitless range, the strong handles, physical finisher, and I'll kind of explain it to you guys how I've realized how it kind of works. But then we went with the 80 mid-range because I think that's kind of like a perfect sweet spot. But like I said, what I have realized with the game so far, the driving dunks on these small builds, it kind of needs to be fixed. A lot of these clips that you guys are seeing, I'm missing dunks or whatever. I have a 93 driving dunk, which is pretty high, but I also have legend posterizer, right? So I have legend posterizer, a 93 driving dunk. Now, sometimes I understand maybe it's a 6'8", maybe I shouldn't be dunking on him every time, but I have noticed my Giannis build has an 89 driving dunk, and 89 by the way, and I use like silver or gold posterizer. Maybe I actually am using Hall of Fame. I'm using Hall of Fame posterizer, but a lot of the clips you guys saw in the Giannis build were silver posterizer, and the meter is so much bigger, which I guess technically makes a little bit more sense. But with how overpowered these taller builds are, and you know, don't hate me in the comment section, but they might need a patch. The driving dunks on the smaller builds might need a patch. We might need a little bit of a bigger green window, but that's going to be our shooting. Going on to the playmaking, I've messed around with this a lot. The 71 pass accuracy, again, 2K just for some reason cannot get it right, is the sweet spot. Trust me. You guys are going to have to trust me on this. So many people recommend the 71 pass accuracy. You do get silver dimer, which is kind of funny because if you want to use like a max plus 2, you could get Hall of Fame dimer with a 71 pass accuracy, which is pretty interesting. I went 92 ball handle just for all the dribble moves that we would need. Speed with ball in 86, so we do get gold lightning launch. And again, like I said, you could use a max plus 2 and get Hall of Fame or legend if you wanted to. I haven't quite messed around with that yet. But the dribbling, like I said, on this build, you guys are going to be watching. This is quite literally 2 hours of gameplay that I played on this build. My first guard build I made this year is going to be with this build. So cut me some slack. I'm still learning the dribble moves, trying to figure everything out. It kind of feels nice. The dribble moves feel smooth. But again, like I said, the 6'8" kind of feel like they move. With the speed boost they get off of like snatchbacks and the, you know, quick little crossovers and stuff like that, the 6'8" are kind of deadly. But it is fun to mess around with these builds, kind of get yourself open. You guys are seeing a lot of threes and highlights and dunks and dribble moves and combos, which is kind of fun. I haven't been able to do this yet, so I'm having a good time with it. Now the defense looks bad. I know the defense doesn't look fantastic, but I will show you with cap breakers eventually we're gonna have a super high perimeter defense and a pretty good steal. We already have a decent block, so we're able to get some chase downs. But that's the beauty of the cap breakers. You guys, if you really kind of grind this game, which I'm having a good time so far playing it, I do see myself playing this game a lot. So we will have some perimeter defense on this build eventually. We'll have it pretty high just to get some bumps. But I will show you guys here in a minute with the physicals and why this is a bully guard. With this immovable enforcer that I have on gold without just any max plus ones. Actually, I think I might be using a max plus 1 on my tier 2. I can't remember. But the gold immovable enforcer is a lifesaver on this build. I get super bumpy. So the 72 perimeter is just so we can get the immovable enforcer on silver. We use the max +1 on gold. We're bumping guards. We're bumping these 6'8". It's a good time. And then the rebounding, nothing too crazy, just a 40 and a 45. I think we could upgrade this if we wanted to get like bronze rebound chaser, but that's pretty much it. Then our physicals look like this. We have an 87 speed with an 80 agility, 85 strength. I wanted to test it out. You guys are seeing in the clips, this has probably been the most fun. A lot of guards that I've gone against do not have any strength. I'm talking like 25 to like 40 strength or even 50. So we're able to really just move these guys out of the way. It works the exact same way as last year. I have noticed the crossover animation with strong handles works a lot more. I used to be able to do the spin move quite often, but it feels like that one isn't as good as it was in prior years. Maybe it's just because I'm on a smaller build, but the crossover between the legs, like nutmeg stuff, works really well. I've gotten a lot of people with this, who've been able to get to the rim very easily and just dunk the ball or go for a layup or a floater or whatever it is. The 85 strength, super beneficial. Strong handle on Legend, which has been fun. We have it on Hall of Fame by default, but I just kind of messed around with it with Legend just to see how it would work. Like I said, I haven't been able to use it yet. I've been pleasantly surprised. Been a lot of fun. Our vertical is at an 80. We could use the cap breakers later down the road if we go with our driving dunk a little bit higher. But as of right now, we get that gold posterizer with the 80 vertical. And if you guys are interested in the build name, it gets Kobe Bryant, James Harden, and Donovan Mitchell, which is kind of cool. And I actually do like this build name quite a lot. The physical inside out slasher, that's just Anthony Edwards. A lot of strengths. Obviously, the defense is kind of the lackluster part right now. But like I said, down the road with cap breakers, we add that to our defense, and we're going to have little to no weaknesses at all. Now, what is fun about this game so far, it feels like there are no really meta animations. You can kind of use whatever you want, just learn it, and you can be successful with it. So here are my dribble moves as of right now. If there's anything that you guys have been using, you'd be like, Dignify, you got to try this out. It's actually pretty glitchy. Let me know down below in the comment section. Like I said, I'm only a couple hours in on the guard build, but what also is fun with this, like I said, we have a high driving dunk and a high driving layup, so we want to make sure we have some cool layup animations going on. The regular layup I use is Ja Morant. The reverse is Kyrie, really cool animation. The LaMelo Ball floater activates from pretty far out, so I've been using that one. De'Aaron Fox quick scoop, which is cool. Again, I haven't been able to really figure out how to use my Euro steps with my right stick, which is annoying. So like I said, it feels like they change it every single year. But then we use a lot of other like Ja Morant layups, which are pretty sweet. Like the hop step one, you guys saw that dunk animation, really solid. You get a lot of space and separation with that. Then our layup spin is going to be Ja Morant as well. This is the jump shot I've been kind of tinkering with and messing around with. We've got an A+ release height, A+ release speed, and A+ defensive immunity. Allen Iverson is the base, Baluba, and Josh Hart. I think this is pretty good. It feels like it's a little bit slower than I would think an A+ release speed is, but it's pretty easy to time. The visual cue is really solid as well. You can kind of see like when you bring it up to your head just to release it. So I've been enjoying that. I've been shooting really well. Have all my lethal zones already just from playing for a little bit with the build. Then my dunks, I don't really have anything too crazy. I don't know why these are on by default, but we got quick drops, just the reverse, the contact dunks. I don't like using too many dunk packages because I think they're kind of annoying to use. We got the pro contact dunks, small contact dunks. We don't have any of these standing dunks because we have to at least be 6'5", so we don't get those this year. I am using one that I've still liked a lot, obviously the Michael Jordan. We got some Anthony Edwards going on too. Just the alley-oops, contact alley-oops, all that good stuff. But if there's any other like glitchy dunk packages, I know Devin Booker is pretty good too. You guys let me know. But like I said, I've been just using like the kind of stuff I like. The Anthony Edwards looks cool. And of course, Michael Jordan free throw line dunk, pretty solid. And with this build, I'm going to do the shooting specialization just because I want like that limitless range. And I want some cap breakers for my shooting badges, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So we can eventually do that. I will show you guys real quickly how the cap breakers look on this build if you guys are interested. Like I said, I am using 2 of them right now to get that 93 driving dunk. Eventually we could get it to 98, which is really good. And with our shooting, I do believe like the 93 pointer unlocks a lot of stuff, so we could add it to that. So we'll use like one of our cap breakers there. But then like I mentioned before, we can get pretty high perimeter defense if we want to include it there. Like the only thing that's really kind of lacking on this build is defense. So with the rest of the cap breakers, unless we just want to get like a super high driving dunk, we might add one here. But we might start adding a lot more to the perimeter defense, get super bumpy with that strength. It could be a lot of fun. Now this is what I was messing around with when it came to my max +1s and my max +2s. And like I said, with our shooting badges, this can be really nice once we unlock these. But again, you could use Legend Strong Handle, Legend Posterizer. You could change this around if you want to shoot a little bit more. Use it on Hall of Fame. You could use Deadeye, get that on Hall of Fame as well. Again, you could use like Physical Finisher and get it on Hall of Fame or Legend. So it's just up to you what you want to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been having fun on this build. It's been a lot of fun just being a bully guard. If you end up making it, let me know down below in the comments section. Again, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, check out these 2 videos as well. But until next time, it's been your boy Dignify, and I'm out. Peace.